There everyone, and welcome to another virtual painting session. It is now 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here, and the chat box is in the bottom corner to the left. You've got the photo reference on the top left. So how about we just go ahead and get started. So feel free to ask me any questions that are on your mind while I'm painting. So I'm going to use my French umber. And the photo reference, by the way, is also in the community section. I actually posted it to the community section of the YouTube channel before the stream. So hopefully you'll be able to see the photo reference. And I don't know if you can download it from the community section, but you can at least screenshot the image if you want to paint or draw along with me. So French umber, what's the first thing I gotta do? With a still life, of course we're doing another still life because still life is really fun. I hope you like this green cutout thing that I put here for the for the chat box. It's just a little piece of green painted cardboard or thin cardboard paper, just so you can see the comments a little bit more clear. Hey Chris from the UK, welcome to the virtual painting session. So I'm going to set the stage here first for the still life, so the still life platform, and I guess somewhere around here for the top, and somewhere down here. As you noticed, I used some of the turpentine to thin out the paint a little bit, so right around there. And I hope that you're enjoying the live streams and the camera angles and all of that. So this platform actually has a bottom portion, though it can't really be seen that well. So I'm going to put a little bottom portion here, and I'm just using French umber by Rublev with distilled turpentine to get the paint to flow a little bit. Hey Edward from Puerto Rico, what's up? Great to see everyone here again. So like I said, the alla prima technique, this is going to be kind of like, once again, the fast and furious way of painting. So what I'm going to do is put a mark here for the top. And this is a very simple setup, but it should be a lot of fun. It is a metallic contrasted with a matte surface. Well, not entirely matte, but you know what I mean. The strawberry is kind of a different characteristic, and I'm putting the strawberry in the wrong place for some reason. So let me start with this element of the still life first, and I like to start off with very simple geometric shapes with the still life setup. And don't worry, we haven't abandoned portraiture. We'll do some portraits and maybe even some wildlife paintings. I'm going to put a center line here. So I'm just kind of freehand drawing, guesstimating where this is going to go. So as you know, I try to move a little bit quickly with alla prima. I'm going to get a little thing of paper towel. Hey Bruno, hey there again from Germany. What's up? Welcome to the stream. I hope that you're liking the new setup, Bruno, and the chat box. So a lot of stuff has changed since the last time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the placement for the strawberry now. So the strawberry goes somewhere down here, and it's a little bit lower. I typically try to have the perspective be a little different for where I place elements in the still life. So I'm going to move this up a little bit with a bristle brush. So please feel free to ask anything on your mind during the stream. Anything painting related or just anything on your mind. So there, that should be the bottom of the strawberry. Hey there from Ukraine. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you will enjoy your stay here. All right, so the strawberry is just going to be a simple rectangular shape for now. And What I want is to make sure that I have a composition that I like in the abstract. So the abstract is the key to the realism when it comes to composition. And because the abstract is so important, it's very, very important to not think of it as a tea kettle, a metallic tea kettle, but rather a set of shapes. You know, I'm not thinking, oh, this is like tea kettle, this is part of the tea kettle. I'm thinking, this is shapes, and what can I do with these shapes? That's the mindset that I have. How much space in this composition do I want the tea kettle to take up? Hey Bruno, I'm glad you like the less distorted view. Yeah, I'm using a panel, this time 1114 panel. By the way, this is an 11 by 14 panel that had an oil painting already on it, and then I painted over it with raw umber and titanium white oil paint a long time ago. So that's what this is. But for some reason, this panel is slightly distorted on the top, whereas the canvas from yesterday wasn't as distorted. So that's kind of weird. But in any case, hopefully you'll enjoy the less distortion here with this. So the bottom of the handle goes a little bit lower, and that should be about enough for an umber drawing. How about we start to throw in some color now? So since this is the Alla Prima, we can just jump right into color. What's my favorite color? My favorite color is Cadmium Red Vermilion at the moment, Williamsburg. And you know what? I'm feeling adventurous. I'm just gonna put that red in here. I may end up regretting this in a little bit, but not for now. I won't regret this until I make a mistake. So I'm putting in the Cadmium Red Vermilion, and now I'm going to put in a kind of neutral. Hey Pat, hey there from Australia. I'm glad you're joining in on the stream. Welcome everyone to the stream. Hey from Libya, Mohammed. What's up? Welcome everyone. So I'm using a little bit of French umber, as you see here, from my drawing color, and alizarin crimson lake extra. The French umber just helps to neutralize the brightness of the alizarin crimson lake extra, and I'm just going for it. With the strawberry. Very simple light and shadow shapes. Hey Del Hawks from Brazil. What's up, Edward Soto? Your favorite color is cobalt teal. Oh, you know, I used to have that color. That was one of my favorite colors, by the way. I just haven't, used it in a while, but cobalt teal is nice. How's everyone liking this color? This is actually another panel. I couldn't find anything, so I put another panel behind the glass, and it's kind of a neutral gray. I mean, it's the same as this, right? But hopefully you can see the color mixtures much better than yesterday. So I'm using now Ultramarine blue, Gamboge like extra. We're going to mix a nice bright green. And I left a lot of space here because I don't want the bright green to touch the red just yet, or pretty much at all. So I left a decent amount of space to try to avoid that from happening. Will it happen? Probably. But I'm doing my best to avoid it at the moment. All right, so more of the alizarin crimson lake extra. And by the way, if anyone's curious about the colors, I have them linked in the description box down below, along with Amazon affiliate links if you want to purchase the same colors. Also, if you would like me to just list out the colors that I'm using, I can do that as well while I'm painting here. I really don't mind. I enjoy the conversations that we have here. Hey Miriam, thanks for the emojis, much appreciated. Hey Marlene, Jay Walters, I'm glad that you've been enjoying the videos. Thank you for watching the videos. Hey, Chris. Oh, you're interested in the silver coffee pot. Oh, I'm glad. Um, the silver is definitely going to be a lot of value. Value is going to be a big thing. And yeah, glass would be a good one too. Yeah, maybe we'll put a glass object in the next one. Hey, Darren M. How do I work out the tone when starting with red rather than dark shadows? So how do I work out the tone, the value? So red on its own, so this is actually a middle tone. It looks really bright, but it's a middle tone. So if you turn the settings of the camera to black and white, and you film this or take a picture of this, it's actually a middle tone. And now what I'm doing is I'm putting in a dark shadow for the bottom of the strawberry. And I'm starting off with the strawberry just because it seems like the most obvious thing for me. And I will say with still life, it's a very relaxing process. I'm not intending to make it look exactly like the photo reference, not at all. So there will be differences, discrepancies, and that's fine. What I'm more focused on is the form. So let's see here. Hey, David. David Ocher. Hey, Troy. What's up? Would I be willing to repeat my comment, abstract shapes in the early beginning? Yeah, sure, Troy. So the abstraction is one of the most important aspects to realism in terms of composition. So in the beginning, I threw in a bunch of shapes. I didn't want this to be perfectly centered, so I put it a little bit to the right. I'm thinking of just the abstract nature of these shapes, and then the realism will be built on top of this abstraction. So the abstraction is one of the best ways to get a handle on your composition before jumping in with a lot of details. So that's what I meant about the abstract being very important. Abstract meaning that it's a bunch of shapes. It's not intending to be anything other than a bunch of shapes that will eventually, stand in and represent the forms, the structures that are there. And now I'm going to go ahead and just use the same brush. Kind of lazy. I'm going to extend this a little bit higher up for this strawberry. And then I'm going to go in with the background color pretty much right away. So Ivory Black, French Umber. And as I said, this is the Alla Prima, a little bit of Venetian medium. In the Alla Prima approach, you can really just fly through the shapes. And again, I recommend practicing and learning the classical approach to oil paint, but this is also a good exercise to do to really push yourself. A little bit of ultramarine blue just to tint it a little cooler. Let's see here. Hey, Merlin, J. Walters. I'm glad that you've been patiently waiting for the live stream. I'm glad that you're enjoying these videos. Hey, Cephas. Oh, Steve Houston. Yeah, I did actually. He's from the New Masters Academy. He has a lot of drawing videos. I did my homework. I checked out the website. Their website is really good. So it's a good motivation for the future for me. But yeah, I do like Steve Houston's the way that he abstracts his drawing tutorials for everyone. Now, I only know this from reading the thumbnails and the descriptions. I didn't actually purchase, any of the lessons from New Masters Academy, but definitely thanks for sharing that. Hey, Hajer. Welcome to the stream. Yep, no problem, Troy. And I'm trying to stick with these lines that I drew in with the T-square. So let's put in now a little light for the strawberry. Hey, Safas. Thanks for your comment. Yeah, I'm moving rather quickly with the strawberry. I just want to get something there. By the way, I have titanium white and flake white. The titanium white that I have is not the ideal titanium white for Alla Prima. It's Winsor Newton's Griffin Alkyd. So it's not ideal because it dries a little too fast. So every time I use it in an area that I know I'm gonna leave, like exact. So this value is the exact value that I want for the light plane of the strawberry. I won't be second guessing it too much. Hey, Edward Fleming. So with the online lessons, does the live stream level include the same items as the online lessons, like templates? Yep. So the live stream tier on my Patreon, that's the highest tier. That's the $20 a month tier. That gets you every lesson. It gives you every benefit from the previous tiers. So the $20 tier has all of the benefits of the $10, the $5, and the $2. Of course, the $10 has the benefits of the tiers following it as well. The thing about the $20 live stream tier is that it enables you to watch each lesson live. So for instance, this morning I filmed another lesson, and my online students, the ones that are in the mentorship tier, were able to watch it live and ask me questions. And after the stream was done, I changed the settings on the video, and all of my students are able to see the pre-recorded footage. In fact, I've actually grouped together a playlist for the newest project that we're working on. And those videos are unlisted YouTube videos, so they're only only online students on my Patreon can see them. But yeah, feel free to ask me anything about the online classes. I'm trying to pronounce Ishan Sefer. Hello there from Turkey. Welcome to the live stream. I'm using a little bit of yellow. If we follow color theory, a nicer way to make a lighter red is to use yellow. So it's just a little bit of color theory. You know, if you think about Mansell, yellow is closer to the red. That's just how it is. So I'm putting in that light, not as bright though as the as the photo reference makes it seem. Now I'm gonna go ahead and paint the platform. I'm gonna really quickly locate a brush to paint the platform. So let's use French Umber and yellow ochre. So this, what's the platform? The platform is a shelf. The photo reference was actually taken on a shelf using the lighting above the shelf. So again, not very detailed setups for the still life, but that's kind of what I like, more simplistic. So that right there is perhaps a little too light in value. So I'm going to make it a little darker. Let's see. Let's put some of the red. Red, French Umber, yellow ochre. Now that's a little better. And then I'll walk my way over towards the metallic tea kettle. You know, fun fact, this metal tea kettle is actually one of the still life elements in my very first oil painting. So in my very first oil painting way back in 2009, I painted this in my very first oil painting. This fun fact. The thing is pretty old. I don't think I've used it once for putting in tea. Just mainly for still life. Hey Ocher, how much time, let's see. To draw. For me, learning how to draw is kind of like a lifetime thing, but in particular, if you are interested in the specifics of, in terms of simplification of shape and form, if you wouldn't mind checking out the Patreon. But to answer your question, I think that a good semester worth of practice with linear drawing can actually do a lot for everyone. A semester being, like September through December, that amount of time, if I'm being specific. But I do have drawing templates for my online students, because drawing is a very difficult thing, especially when it comes to portraiture. With still life, it's also difficult because we have to look at the perspective, and linear perspective is a pretty big thing. Atmospheric perspective is another thing that you want to worry about. Not worry, that sounds kind of mean. Another thing that we want to focus on when it comes to landscape. But in terms of linear perspective here, we want to think about, where exactly are we, where is the horizon line here? So it's pretty much about, I'd say about here, meaning our eye level is about here. So the vanishing points would probably go towards about here. So now I'm going to carefully draw in the shadows. Hey, Anthena. Hello there from South Africa. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, Marshall Watkins. Welcome to the live stream. So now with a little bit of Venetian medium, I'm going to very carefully draw this shadow, this cast shadow. It's a very important element in the composition. And now I'm going to cover the background around the kettle, and then I'll jump into the tea kettle. I'm going to use a smaller brush, however. Let me use this one first. I'm going to use up what's left on the brush, and then jump right into the background. So the important thing when it comes to silver, so everyone that's wondering about these metallic colors, I haven't gotten to it yet. We're going to get there. The important thing is what you surround the metal with, what you surround the gray. So it's not so much the gray that will make it look silver, but it's everything around it. So that's why I'm going to go into the background first. Hey, Pallavi, how are you doing? How to paint still life background for portraits. I usually go with contrast when it comes to backgrounds, whether it's still life or portraits. I think about it the same. I go for contrast. I either contrast value, which is what I'm doing in this case, or I contrast hue. Sometimes I will contrast multiple things. I'll contrast value and hue. So depending on the skin tone of the model for portraits, if the model's skin tone is towards the kind of pinkish, then or warmish color, then I'll contrast the temperature, and I'll go in with kind of a greenish undertone. You see this in a lot of Rembrandts as well. The backgrounds may look brown, but if you really look at them, the backgrounds are slightly greenish to contrast with the flesh tone. So I always try to go for contrast, Pallavi. Hello there. The painting's getting muddy. Yeah, it could be, but I mean, we're just starting to put in these masses. Yep, no problem. And for the background, I really want to draw the contour with this. And remember, with the alla prima technique, it's not going to be a super realistic painting, and that's not really what I like to go after when I do still life. I like more expressive still life. So see how I'm using the background to draw the contour? And of course the shape isn't entirely correct, but we can always edit it as we go. So I'm kind of drawing this on the fly. And you want to have a little bit of extra space because you are going to go in, when you're working in alla prima, you are going to go in and put in some positive shape. So this is the negative shape out here, and then you're going to go in with the positive shape, and you want to have a little bit of space to keep control of those edges. Let's see here if I missed any questions. I don't think I did. I hope that everyone is enjoying the chat box that we have. And again, I really like the fact that we can do this. So, you know, and Anthena, I can point to your comment here. And I don't know if I can pronounce your name. I apologize. Ishan Steffer. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. So it's so nice to be able to point to the comments as they're coming in. So let's see here. And thanks to everyone that's leaving a like as well. Now what I don't want, what I want to be very careful with, hey D Michigan, let's see. Let's see, in alla prima, if you have painted too light or too dark, do you wipe it off or do you cover it with more colors? Depending, if I painted it too dark, then I will paint over it. If I painted it too light, then I may wipe it off with alla prima. Similar to the classical approach, it's actually still easier to layer a little bit darker. Or sorry, I'm totally confused that one. In alla prima, if I have something dark, then I can work light over it. And I'll show you it in a little bit. It's kind of the opposite with classical. I apologize. I got the classical confused. If I put something that is a little bit too light right now, I will wipe it off and then put something darker. It's easier. You'll see. It's easier to paint in something that is lighter when you're working in alla prima. So it's a little different to the classical approach that we use. All right, let's see if I missed anything. I'm trying to read Sherthy Hager. Hello there from North Carolina. I'm glad that you're enjoying the stream and you find it relaxing. Hey, David Dowden. Welcome once again. Hello there in New Orleans. Yeah, it's so nice to see the diversity here with YouTube. It's wonderful. So as I was saying, I want the background to be painted in here first, and I'm using it to draw. I realize my hand may be blocking some of the footage, so I'm trying to be a little cautious with that. And the very least thing that I want is the tea kettle to be leaning, which could end up happening. See, this is why I put that center line. So I want to be very cautious that the tea kettle doesn't end up leaning. But if it leans, it's okay. Not a perfectionist here. Just enjoying the painterly aspects. of Alla Prima with still life. And I hope that you're enjoying the stream. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is go into the interior shapes first, but I'm going to start off with the darker shapes. So for instance, I'll start off with this back corner over here. And like I was saying with the metal, it's not so much the color that you paint, the light of the metallic object, but what you surround it with. So you'll see what I mean. So now just using the same brush. Alrighty, let's see here. Hey Terry, hello there from Dayton, Ohio. What's up? I'm glad that you're enjoying the stream. Hey Darren, have I tried water soluble oil paint? Yeah, I highly recommend Cobra Talons brand. I have a lot of my online students that use Cobra Talons, and I've used it myself. It is my favorite when it comes to water soluble oil paints. I don't really like the Winsor Newton Artisan or the Holbein brand. Not to trash talk anyone, but Cobra Talons is definitely what I would suggest if you're interested in that, Darren. Hey Troy, how do I decide between types of brush strokes at this stage of the painting? At this stage in the painting, I'm not thinking of brush strokes. I'm thinking of light and shadow, and I'm thinking of planes. Not so much thinking about brush strokes. Right now, if anything, I'm trying to minimize the brush strokes. And I'm really just trying to draw. That's what I'm trying to do. But when I get to the brush strokes, typically with Alla Prima, I like flat brushes and round brushes. Just the calligraphy that you can get from them. So now that I've filled in this dark, let's go ahead and just kind of loosely put in this reflected light. And, Alla Prima for me is kind of like a relaxing, kind of nonchalant type of way of painting. So again, feel free to ask anything. And I'm just using the same brush at the risk of it getting even more muddy, but a little bit of mud shouldn't hurt. Hey Juan, my favorite Renaissance painter. If we're talking about Renaissance, maybe art history time. I'd say if we're talking about, I'm tempted to go towards Da Vinci. I think I might stick with Da Vinci. Hey Edward Fleming, I just got your message on Patreon. If you are in the chat right now, I'm going to send you a message, buddy, right after the stream, so I can get to the get to the app. So now we're starting to put the gray. Hey Christopher Richard. What are some textures you might use to demonstrate the fine textures, small scratches in the, small scratches in the metal green, the wood, seeds, and the strawberry. So for the scratches, I'd probably just go in with a palette knife and scratch into the painting, and just use a smaller brush and just dab for the effect of the seeds. We'll get to that, hopefully. Hey Marshall Watkins, haven't tried water-soluble oil paint because a full set of colors is so expensive. You can go with the Zorn palette if you're into figurative work. Cobra is actually not terribly expensive when it comes to, when it comes to oil paints. Cobra is actually cheaper than Old Holland. It's cheaper than Williamsburg. So you don't need to have a lot of colors. As long as you have the primaries, should be good to go. And now, of course, I'm going to start to paint in the kind of grayish tones here. And now I'm going to clarify what I meant about painting, about how to layer alla prima. So I'm going to, let's see here, did I miss something? Hey Fatima, can you try this position of camera in your upcoming portrait paintings? Yeah, I'll be using this this camera setup. It took me a while to figure this setup, but figure out this setup, so definitely won't be moving my camera from where it is. It took so long to figure this out. So when I said that I prefer to have something actually darker to layer on top of with alla prima, I'll show you exactly what I meant. So right now, see how this is darker? I'm going to show you in this segment here. So now I will use the flake white and or the titanium white if I need it, and start to layer wet paint onto wet paint. And I have control over the edge quality. Now I do need the titanium white. So I have control over the edge quality. And that's key with alla prima. Now this won't be a super realistic painting by any means, but you know, we're going to go for a more naturalistic alla prima look. Let's see here. What is the largest brush I have? Currently, the largest brush I have is a, I believe this was a, oh, here it is. It says size 6. I thought this was a 12 the whole time. This is a 6 Princeton Catalyst Polytip Bristle Egbert brush, which I have linked in the description box down below. I will most likely use these when I get to the background, filling in the rest of the background. All right, so now that I have this value, I'm going to now cover all over here with this grayish tone and then paint right into it to get the highlights. Making sure to surround it with the correct values. And I'm kind of just moving very quickly. As I said, these are painting, virtual painting sessions. These aren't meant to be lessons by any means, but I am still trying to explain my process. And again, if you are interested in the online classes, please check out my Patreon. All right, now let's put a little more light up here. Move really quickly. And I'm going to draw over top of the that light that I just put in. So you were asking about the scratches. So I'm actually going to use the brush strokes to help me portray the scratches. Now it starts off as an educated mess in the beginning, but what we will do is then kind of steer all of these shapes more specific. Hey Steven, welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're enjoying the new setup.
Here's an answer from Wikipedia.
I didn't talk to you, Siri. You're so rude. Siri, I am not talking to you, Siri. What is going on with you? So rude. Siri is so rude. But in any case, what I'm doing here is putting in the large masses of light. Does anyone else have that problem with Siri? She just automatically assumes that you're talking to her. So rude. I'm pretty much just going in with the same brush to cover quickly. And I'm not too worried about the drawing just yet in terms of the linear proportions. I'm trying to get enough paint in here so that I can sculpt with it, draw with it. Hey, Angela. Welcome to the stream. So again, this is in the alla prima fashion of oil painting, so it's going to be very fast and furious. And as always with reflected lights, I tried not to match the color that is being reflected perfectly, so I'm going to go for more of a kind of neutral color. That's a little towards the gray. Hey, Steven. Oh, yeah, Siri was trying to answer for you as well. Yeah. Siri has an attitude, I'm telling you. So I like to use flake white in the middle tones. Now I want to get a nice and clean middle gray here for the silver. You know, as I said, alla prima is definitely the fast and furious way of painting, but it's also the type of realism I think that gets the most criticism, at least for me, because I'm trying to make something that's not, you know, overly realistic. So that, I don't know, it kind of becomes a target sometimes of some harsh comments with, you know, with paintings, but that's a small thing. I'm trying to make this very smooth as I walk my way down. Now we can really push the softness of these gray colors. Hey, Angela. I like, oh, I'm glad that you like the strawberry. It appears on the palette too. Huh? Oh. I think I see. Hey, Fatima. What's the difference between, oh, you know what? I'm going to take this chance to this. What's the difference between flake white and titanium white? I like that I can point right at the comments. This is awesome. I really like this setup. The difference between flake white and titanium white is that I'll start out first by saying flake white is what I prefer to use for figurative work. Titanium white is what I use for still life and landscape. But flake white is a lead-based white. It's kind of a heavy white. As a result, it takes more of it to raise the values. Therefore, you can have a thicker consistency of paint, thicker consistency of pigment in the skin tones when you're painting portraits, or in the middle tones when you're painting still life, as this is loaded with flake white here. If I had used a ton of titanium white here, it would be way too bright. In fact, the titanium white is only resting in the highlights right now. See how I'm using the titanium white in the lights for the brightest highlights, and see how bright that is? That's not necessarily something that you want in the middle tones, or, you know, in particular with portraiture. Hey Steven, do you ever do still life as you would a portrait of traditional with an umber? Yeah, I do actually. I have done still life in the traditional technique. Yep, I do. But it's just, this is how it's just more enjoyable for me, this process. And it's much faster when it comes to still life. Hey Doreen. Oh, I'm glad you liked the choice for today's still life video. Yep, shiny things. It's important to figure out what you're surrounding the shine with. So that's why I'm spending a lot of, paying a lot of attention to the surrounding areas. Now we're going to steer specific. So if anyone wants to draw with me, we're going to be here for quite some time. So if anyone wants to draw with me, I have posted the photo reference in the community section of the YouTube channel. And now we're going to start to push these values. Now we're talking metallic. So the values are now going to get more exacting as we continue to develop. So for instance, this dark, I'm really going to have to push this. So returning now to the darks. That's what we're going to do. And while I do this, I'm actually going to just use this to draw, opportunity to draw this more specifically. And I'm not really shooting for the likeness of this still life, rather kind of the essence of it. Hey Doreen, do you ever, oh, first of all, let's point at the comments. Awesome, I like that I could do this. Do you ever try not to blend and just lay the colors down next to each other? Yep, I do. I do. I usually will clarify the distinction between plane. See this? So this is how I clarify the distinction between one plane and another. So see here, this is the clarification from one plane to another. The same thing here. So yeah, I do. It's just that with Alla Prima, since I can move so fast, I just kind of go right into edge control. Trying to get a handle on this situation. Hee hee hee. Alright, so now that I have that, I'm going to go back into the darkest areas of the kettle, and I'm gonna say that I'm gonna shoot for a darker, kind of velvety purple. I apologize if my there's a loud sound noise. I kind of heard that in the. I'm pushing. I probably shouldn't be doing that, but I'm kind of pushing my laptop away. Now we're talking. So that kind of velvety purple color really helps, I think, with this. See how important the values are? And I'm gonna have to put in more specificity for this. Hey, Mohammed. I'm glad you like the advice. So feel free to ask me anything. How's everyone doing today? Anyone get any painting done today? Any drawing? Hey, Mohammed. Oh, I'm glad you liked the painting. Oh, you got my... Marshall, you got my joke. Yeah, that was my little joke, trying to get a handle on the situation while I was painting the handle. Oh, okay, Mohammed. Documentaries. You know, on here on YouTube, Simon Shama, if I can pronounce his name properly, I would look up Caravaggio documentary, and it's like one of the first ones that shows up. There's a lot of really nice documentaries on Caravaggio. Anything Caravaggio is kind of like a soap opera. And he has a good one out on Rembrandt. Now we're really going in with these edges. Hey, Christopher Richard. You're finishing off your first self-portrait today. Awesome. Congratulations. I just need to add my piercings. I'm trying to learn as much about painting metals as I can, and this seems very informative and appropriate. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad that we're both painting metal things today. And really the secret lies in the values. The values are a huge thing. Hey, Mina. Oh, thank you for your comment. Steven, no painting today. I tidied up the studio and it looks very clean and tidy. See, this is a good thing. Good advice. Whenever you know, I'm not painting, but I'm in the studio during a work day, I do the same thing. I try to, you know, try to organize my studio space. It's a pretty good way to spend a working day in the studio when you're not painting. Hey Anna. Hey there from Switzerland. Do you think it's possible to do the underpainting with water mixable oil paints and then continue with normal oils? This way I could avoid using turpentine. Yeah, you can. And if you're so remember, you can paint classical oil paint over top of water mixable. That's perfectly fine. It's just the reverse. I wouldn't do the reverse. But if you're trying to avoid turpentine or odorless mineral spirits, if you're trying to avoid those solvents, then my suggestion would be spike lavender oil. It's a much what's the word? It's not toxic to breathe in while you're painting. Not as toxic as the solvents usually are. That's spike lavender. And with spike lavender, it's a very well documented solvent to use, thinner to use, and it makes your studio smell like a spa. So that's always a good thing with that lavender smell. Now this is the strength with Alla Prima. You can just push things. It's almost like Photoshop, or what's the one everyone's using now? Like Procreate. You can just push things. Just push it into place. Hey Tanya. Good evening from the UK. No, you didn't miss too much. We're just getting started. We're just laying the colors in, so hang tight. There's definitely a lot more fun stuff here. And remember, everyone, I have posted a comment. Not a comment, but what am I saying? In the community section, I posted the photo reference, but I'll also post the photo reference in the Facebook group. The Facebook photo reference group. So now I'm going to fill some more of the platform. Sometimes I like to go back and forth between the platform with a still life and the main part of the still life, just to get some perspective. Now I'm going to thin out the paint with a little bit of turpentine, distilled turpentine, using some Venetian medium. Let's just use the, whoa, too much titanium white. Too much titanium white. All right, let's see if I missed any comments. Hey Marshall, where do I get spike lavender? Marshall, you can purchase it from Jerry's Artorama, or you can purchase it from Amazon. So I actually have links in the description box of this video to Amazon, where they have the spike lavender. Now that is that should be for other countries as well. Jerry's Artorama is if you're here in the US. Also, I'm going to type the name of this store. This is another nice place to look for spike lavender. My friend Karen Warshall buys it from here. So I'm typing it out for you right now. So let's just wait for it to show up. Yep, Stephen, a lot of people use it as a replacement. Yep, because it's not supposed to be toxic. Yeah. So there it is. It's so nice that I can point at my own comment. Art Treehouse. Look up Art Treehouse and the Spike Lavender. That is another store where you can purchase the Spike Lavender. I think I'm actually going to purchase from there. Hey Alexander, do I use a color checker? Not really. No, I'm just I'm more, I guess, perceptual when it comes to color. So now let's tidy up the platform of our still life with this larger brush. And I'm not going to forget that the still life is reflecting a little bit. But I want to be careful not to lose that shadow. That shadow is starting to try to run away from me. Value is the key. Just making sure I don't lose that shadow. And I hope everyone is liking this this new, hopefully upgraded streaming setup. And I hope that you like that you can see your comments and questions in the video. I put myself in your shoes, and I try to imagine what I would want to see in a painting live stream. This is just it's a fun thing to do. And it's kind of double the fun, really, if you're coupling it with Alla Prima. Because Alla Prima is so fun. Hey, Pam. Thanks for your comment. And as you can see, I'm kind of going all over the place with my colors on the palette. Now let's put in that darker Plein. Let's just use French Umber and test it out for a second. Trying not to paint my microphone too much. For some reason my email keeps popping up. Sorry about that. So just French Umber to try to get a darker value for the platform. Last time the platform kind of ended. It went down and then ended. This time I'm going to put a kind of a third surface for the platform. And let's put a little bit of the light, a little highlight there, using the good old T-square. A little more pressure where I want it to be lighter, kind of right in between the metallic object and the strawberry. Less pressure if I want it to be darker. There you go. Look at that freehand straight line. Freehand. I'm just kidding. I probably couldn't draw a straight line to save my life. Hey Steven, I'm glad you like the layout of the screen. I really enjoy the comment section of this. I must say, I'm kind of proud of this. I'm really liking that we can see the comments scrolling through. Hey Oh, I'm gonna mispronounce your name. You know who I'm talking to, Fox Ken Muller. Hello there from the Netherlands. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, Griox. Do you make a drawing using Autodesk Sketchbook Pro? Huh. I'm not sure I've used that that template or that program. Not sure if I've used that one. So now I'm going to put the bottom portion of this of the environment here. And I'm also going to use the T-square. So a little bit of turpentine. And I ran out of my medium, so let's get some more medium. Yeah, that's why with the rulers. Yeah, rulers are kind of important. All right, so let's go back to the good old T-square. Hopefully the paint is thin enough. Wait, what am I doing? This needs to go up here. Whoops. I'm lifting the T-square up a little bit. So there we go. Now we have that platform. Now let's just paint in the bottom of the platform. And we're going to leave the background, or at least this portion of the background, rather thin. It's going to fade in. And then once it fades in, I'll paint it a little bit thicker. So got that covered. That's good to go. Now I'm going to cover this area here and then return to this. And I'm going to need some more paint pretty soon. I get this question a lot. I don't know if I can talk about that. So that's where I usually start to whistle. Which I'm not a very good whistler. So now just covering the back portion here. And pretty much just use up all of this paint. Scrubby scrub. And I really like this brushy look to the background. I personally enjoy it a little bit more than just a flat kind of overly blended out background. I prefer it to be kind of brushy. And I'm going to leave this area alone just so I have a place to rest my pinky. See, I'm already getting paint on my hand, but a place where I can rest my pinky. Let's see here. No, you like the whistling too, Michigan. Hey Mina, why the round brush? Oh, this is a filbert. It was a little more filberty, but I've been using this for a while. Round brushes, though, I like round brushes for the structures, just because it's like using a pencil. You can get a very fine point, like a graphite pencil. Hey Troy, no, don't apologize for bothering. Please send questions. Ask as many questions that you have on your mind. I really enjoy the chat. Okay, thanks for answering it. Yep, the paints that I recommend for water mixable are Cobra talons, and a lot of my students use the Cobra talons, and they do really well with the Cobra talons. All right, so let's return to the still life object. First, I need to put a little more paint out for the French umber. Let's see here. Hey, Fatima. Yeah, it's Cobra talons. Yep. Correct. You are correct. So right here, Cobra Talons. Definitely look up Cobra Talons if you are interested in using the water soluble, water mixable. Just everyone know that Cobra takes a long time to dry in comparison to traditional oil paints. Cobra is the one that takes, not just Cobra, but just water mixable oil paints in general, I found take a long time to dry, despite what they say. Yep, Troy. Again, feel free to ask me any questions. I really enjoy the fact that we can have this type of interaction. So ask away any questions that you have. Hey Alexander, where do I see myself in 10 years? Hopefully doing this, doing these virtual painting sessions. Hopefully I can continue to upgrade the layout, but I see myself having my online classes grow. I want my online classes to grow. The online learning community that I have, I want that to grow. I really enjoy combining video, so the modern technology involved in video, with the classical, more classical art form, which is this oil painting. So I consider video also a form of art, and then I'm basically combining two forms of art to try to create a new one. As others before me have done, like Bob Ross and Bill Alexander. Oh, oh, Marshall, I wouldn't say that. Hey Doreen, this image is I posted it in the community section of my of the YouTube. Hey Alma. Oh, thanks for your kind words. Oh wow, all the way from Mexico. Thank you. Te mando saludos también de aquí en los Estados Unidos, Maryland. Gracias. Let's see. What made you fall in love with painting? Christopher Richard. That's a good question. There's so many answers to this, so many factors. But for me, my greatest motivation in painting, I think what made me fall in love with painting back when I was a senior in high school was walking in the museums. In particular, one painting of Vijay Lebrun and let's see, where was it? Baltimore Museum of Art. I could connect with this portrait painting so well. She had painted it a long time ago. Elizabeth Louise Vijay Lebrun. Just the ability to kind of connect with something that someone created hundreds of years ago. That's what really made me fall in love with painting in the beginning. And it's still something that I really enjoy about painting. That you can connect with the creator. And this, of course, is a even further extension of that connection. Let's see here. Hey Mina, will I stream tomorrow? I don't think I'll be able to stream tomorrow. I usually take Sundays off. But Monday, definitely Monday. Mina, I'll be here Monday. Around the same time. Hey Marshall, no worries. One of my students, in fact, when I was teaching in-person classes before the world ended, one of my students is 90, I think 91 now, and he learned so much. He was like a sponge, just learned so fast. So let's never let age stop us from learning and doing what we love to do. Hey Pam. I speak a little Spanish. I speak Spanglish. Very, very, very little Spanish. I should speak more. Hey Edward Fleming. I think I know exactly which autobiography you're talking about. Vijay Lebrun. So I'm going to point at this comment. So everyone watching this, thank you for typing out her name. I always butcher her name. Everyone watching and watching this after the video is complete, look up Vijay Lebrun. She's one of my favorite artists of all time, and she has a really awesome biography, action-packed biography. I'd add about her life. So it's really interesting. She basically escaped from the storming of Versailles, I believe, where people were getting their heads cut off, and she escaped. She took her son and escaped, and was on the run, and then started anew. And I forget exactly where, but she started her life over again. And with her ability as a portrait painter, she was able to just pick right back up and continue. But of course, I may have missed some things, but definitely look at her biography, her autobiography. What am I doing? This is the wrong brush. So usually I try to have a cool brush and a warm brush, a light brush and a dark brush. That's why I have so many brushes going on. And this is how many brushes I have right now. And there will probably be more. Definitely more. Hey, Doreen. Oh, I'm glad that you like the shelf. Yeah, with the shelf, there's really not much to it other than top plane, literally top plane, side plane, bottom. And we're done. That's the nice thing about the still life and, the platforms. Hey, Fatima. Is it important to study anatomy for portrait and figure painting? Oh, definitely. Anatomy is really important, but by all means, you don't have to be like, like a doctor. If you listen to Robert Liberace, really wonderful living master today, he is very well versed in anatomy, but it's kind of like an artistic anatomy. Like you're not, thinking of it in terms of getting a medical degree, but use anatomy to help you place the parts when it comes to figure and portrait. Anatomy should just help you place the parts. Not really describe them, but know where to place things, because to describe the parts when you're doing portraiture, you want to really do that from observation instead of putting in, superimposing something because you think it needs to be there. Hey, Steven. I didn't start painting until I retired, but I had been thinking about it for 40 years. Oh, you've got plenty of time. If you enjoy painting, if you love painting, you will inevitably emerge. All it takes is the passion for it, and the time and dedication, and the right teaching. Now we're going to have a lot of fun with these reflected lights. So we're just cruising. Just cruising. Feel free to ask anything. Hey, Alma. Okay. So my, let's see. Hey, Alma. Creo que es mejor si me los puedes mandar por email. Voy a tipear mi email. Normalmente no pongo ¿cómo se dice? Mi dirección en la internet. Oops, I misspelled my Gmail. All right. Ahí está mi dirección, mi Gmail. Me los puedes mandar ahí. Y también si puedes chequear mis clases online. Tengo un Patreon. Voy a tipear el Patreon. So yeah, I do speak Spanish actually. To everyone that's wondering, I'm just not very good at it. Hey Troy, it's more about it's not so much blending. See how I put in this shape, but it's really about trying to merge these values to one another. The closer you can get the values to one another, the more it will appear like it's been blended. But when I do blend, so to speak, I usually take out a separate brush, a dry and a dry synthetic brush and clean synthetic brush. Hey, Nielda Garcia, I barely speak Spanish. Mi español es lo peor. Solo sé hablar por mis abuelos. Mis padres siempre me hablaron en inglés. It's just, I don't know, that's how I was raised. Yeah, no problem, Alma. Hey, Troy. Yeah, the value range, Troy, definitely. So if we look here, it's still in its infancy. You have 1, 2, 3, which is this main plane, 4, which is the highlight, and then that's it, because this is kind of a repetition of this plane. So only a handful of values, and then we're going to continue to build those values from there. And of course, the colors, that's off. I'm going to have to adjust this because now I can relate this to this. So I will push the color relationships in this a little more than the photo reference, of course. Hey, Marshall. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. All right, so let me adjust that. And someone was asking me when and if I would ever subtract with paper towel, and I'm gonna do that right now because this color is just not working. So I'm going to just subtract a little bit with the paper towel. Not very much, so I can paint over top of it. Alrighty, let's see, what did I miss? Hey, Dark Clown. Dark Clown. Si yo haría un video en español de pintura, el internet explota. Soy tan mal en español. There's no way I could make a YouTube painting video purely in Spanish, but my brain would explode. I'd probably blow up the internet with my really bad Spanish. Hey, D Michigan. My parents, they spoke to me in English. It's just my grandparents that I spoke to in Spanish. Yeah, and I also answered in English as a kid. So it's just mainly my grandparents, of which I learned to speak Spanish. My parents do, my mother does speak Spanish around me once in a while, and I kind of sometimes forget that she's speaking Spanish. So I can understand it way better than I can speak it. Hey, Space Telegrams. Oh yeah, me trying to speak less Spanish. Yeah, I'm pretty bad. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at Spanish. I try. Not the greatest. Hey, John. How has the global pandemic affected my art? Did it take your art to different areas? I heard many artists became somewhat blocked. Oh, I'm glad you like this style. Um, so what the pandemic did for me was, well, first of all, how many of us are introverts? Like, raise your hand wherever you are if you're like me and you're an introvert. Um, what it did for me is I really painted a lot, and a lot, especially like when this first began, like in March, like in the middle of March when the cases were rising and everything. I would go back and forth between playing Super Mario, Nintendo 64, and just painting all day, every day. Um, so it's, if anything, it's just made me a little bit more proficient, I think. Oh, it's okay, Space Telegrams. Please go ahead, laugh at my Spanish. um, Laughing at with the internet. Yeah, I would definitely blow the internet up. Hey, Garcia. Yeah, we're both introverts. Yep. Hey, April. All you do is read or paint. Yeah, all I do is paint and work. But my other thing that I do, my only real hobby is pet care. I really enjoy pet care. I keep reptiles and some inverts, so I really like pets. Hey, D Michigan. Oh yeah, yeah. I prefer the same. Yeah, to be alone or with close friends. Hey, Dark Clown. Let's see if I can read. Conozco gente que habla español, pero peor y no les importa. Really? To me, it matters. Mi gramática es lo peor. Hey, Mike. Mike Drop Paint, welcome to the stream. Hey, Steven. Suppose you're a bit of a recluse. Yeah, we all kind of are, I think. To be painters, we're always, spending all these hours and hours alone. All right, what am I missing here? I'm going to stand back for a second. It's important to get some distance from the painting. So I've fixed this problem. So this was definitely too chromatic. Now I'm wondering, I like the brightness of this. I think I'm going to just let this be kind of exaggerated. Now I'm just going to push more depth into these middle tones. So let's see if I missed any comments. Hey, Tanya, you have 10 cats. Awesome. In the house here, we have 2. We have Deborah and Midnight. Hey, Troy. When is it okay to grip up closer to the bristle end? And when is it better to have the grip closer to the tail end? That's a really good question. Now, a purist would say always have the brush from the tail end. But to be honest, it's really just preference. Usually in the first sitting of a classical painting, I don't do this. And usually when I'm painting alla prima, I usually don't do this unless, to answer your question, if you have a very, uh, something that's very difficult in terms of the mark making, like, let's say the leaves. Once I get to the leaves, then I'm probably going to be much closer. But for these larger planes, I tend to hold from further back. So when you're painting smaller stuff, then it's okay to hold the brush closer. Larger stuff, hold the brush further back. Now I'm really going to start to put in some more depth. Start to close into this metallic form. Let's see if I missed anything. Hey Marshall, you have two cats? Yeah, we have two cats in this house. Hey Mohammed, why is life drawing so important in terms of studying structure and not color? Life drawing is important because it puts you in the immediacy of the moment. If we're talking about figure drawing, so drawing from life, it puts you in the immediacy of the moment and really gets you to react to and use simple shapes. In fact, when I went to Studio Incaminati, when I studied there, the beginning was pretty much all gestures, so figure drawing with short pose. See, now we're starting to kind of... so the question before was about blending, so now I'm starting to kind of lightly curve the surface here. So let's see if I missed anything. Hey, April, thank you. What's up, Mic Drop Paint? What's up? Let's see. Do you do the light reflection on the top left area? I think that's... Yeah, actually, you read my mind. This brush was about to do that. I'm going to put this reflection. So now we're getting into these smaller shapes. All right, and let's see, what did I miss? Top right. Oh, whoops. Let me see here. Let me look at the picture. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're talking about the same one. Yeah, this one. When it comes to this light, if we're talking about the left, I can push it a little bit brighter. But then I would like to darken the areas around it. Hey, ESK98, what's up? Interesting emojis. All right, Steven. Have you ever used metallic colored paints such as gold, silver, copper? No, I don't think I have, but would be nice to use gold. I wouldn't mind buying gold. You know, like a gold hue, I guess, paint. Hey V, Adam. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. I'm glad that you like the portrait videos, since I mainly specialize in portrait. I'm glad you like those. I'm trying to pronounce your name, Nira Medovic. I'm glad that you're enjoying the channel as well. I'm glad you're enjoying the YouTube channel. And again, to anyone that would like to take their learning further with me, definitely, if you don't mind, check out the online classes. And let's go ahead and now start to walk our way towards the highlight. Now we're going to make this really smooth. And at some point I'll return to the strawberry. And since we were talking about blending, this is how I would do it. Hey, Nira, for the Patreon, so you can check out the online classes. They're $10 a month. So I'm going to type it out here. So there it is, Nira. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. So if you want to check out patreon.com/upariartist and look at the mentorship tier, it's the $10 a month tier. It gets you access to the online classes. So it gets you access to all of the online classes, the pre-recorded virtual classrooms. So with the online classes, you can send me images of your projects. So we have projects that we work on in the class each week by Saturday night, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as well, you can send me images each week of extracurricular activities, which are paint-alongs, any paintings that you've done painting along with any of my YouTube videos. There's also a $20 a month live stream tier that gets you access to watching the lessons uploaded live. But $10 a month is what gets you access to the online classes. Let's see here. Did I miss something? Hey, Luis Velasquez. Oh, yeah. Greetings, fellow hermits. I like this. What is my favorite oil painting medium? My Spanish? Nah, man. My Spanish is bad. Let's see here. Let's see. I have a new tube of it here. Venetian medium. This is my favorite medium ever. Right there. Venetian medium. Hey, April. In the UK, you have to book in advance, and that's just a little too much. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know. In advance. April, do you mean Patreon? I don't think that it should be different in the UK. Or are we talking about something else? Tell you what, if anyone is on the fence with my online classes, go ahead, send me an email. I'm going to type my email again. So the online classes are unlisted YouTube videos. Oh, she's talking to museums. Well, in any case, if anyone's on the fence about the online classes, please go ahead and send me an email if you're interested in the online classes. So right there, send me an email if you're interested in the online classes and you're kind of on the fence. I can send you a link to a sample to one of the lessons. I can definitely do that. But of course, it would be one lesson as a sample. So if anyone's on the fence about it. Hey, Alma, desde este momento nunca grabé un video de pintura en español porque no sé cómo decir cosas en español como decir halftones o como decir dark lights, edges. No sé cómo se dice eso en español, no sé. Hey, Teresa. Oh, I'm glad that you like the painting. Hey, Steven. Oh, okay. $10 US is 12 in the UK. I didn't know. Hey, Teresa. Okay, setting up the live stream. That's a very complicated one. First of all, bandwidth. I've learned bandwidth is an important thing. So I had to make sure that my bandwidth was good. And then I had to set up with an encoder. I'm using OBS. So you can use OBS to live stream, but you have to really experiment with your settings and make sure that your bit rate and frame rate matches with the live streams from what I found to be the gist of it. And you want to make sure that your settings on your camera match up. So you want to make sure that if you're filming at whatever frame rate, that it matches up with your encoder. Hey, Teresa, I'm glad you liked the videos. Thanks for watching from the Philippines. Hey, Troy Roberts. Yeah, Troy is with us on Patreon. I'm glad that you are enjoying the Patreon and the online classes. It's Speaking of Patreon, just got a message. So everyone on Patreon that's sending me a message right now. So I'm usually like on point with messages. Another thing you get with Patreon is the messenger, and I respond really fast these days. Except for yeah, Steven, don't worry, I'll send you a sample. So with the messenger on Patreon, I respond pretty much right away. I'm like a hawk when it comes to that messenger. I'm always double checking it. It's just right now while I'm streaming, I can't reply to messages. So this is, unless I'm asleep, I'm always looking on my messenger to answer any questions. I'm going to change this hue a little bit, make it warmer. Yep, just got your email. Now we're starting to put all these little intricacies. All right, let's see if I missed anything. Before long, I'm going to cover this. Let's see what I missed. Hey, Dark Clown. ¿Es verdad dicen halftone en español? Yo no sé cómo dirían, cómo decir penumbra. So penumbra here, penumbra is, I don't even know. How do you even say cast shadow in Spanish? Sombra? Aquí la sombra que no es tan oscuro acá is the penumbra. I don't know. There are so many words I don't know in Spanish. That's why I can't do it. Hey, Steven. They add 20% tax. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. It's a good thing I'm not charging more than $10 for that. All right, let's keep pushing the contrast. And please feel free to ask any questions that are on your mind. I'm telling you, this is definitely, becoming, or has become really one of my favorite art forms. And of course, I'm not getting the exact likeness of our models here. That's not really what I'm after. Now I can cover this area here. Nice and simple. And of course, there's kind of a yellowish light here, so let's put that in. Very kind of like an off yellow. Sombra tostada medio tono. Okay, so half tone is medio tono. Okay, I'm learning too. So yeah, we'll do a live stream portrait. Teresa, I don't know if Alla Prima, if anyone remembers, we still have another ongoing portrait, the Van Dyke. I kind of bombed the Velasquez, but we could go back to that one. But for portraits, I usually don't, these days I don't use Alla Prima, but I can. If you really want to see an Alla Prima portrait, which I may bomb, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. It's just that portraiture does take much, much longer. All right, I've been neglecting that strawberry. We're going to return to the strawberry after I cover this. I'm glad, Teresa, that you're learning from these virtual painting sessions. Sombra proyectada is cast shadow. All right, I'm learning. I had no clue. Oh, thanks, Art House. And also thanks to everyone that's leaving a like. Thank you so much. This is a soft synthetic brush using to blend this edge. And I'm just trying to make the edge soft. I'm not trying to add a new value. And this little handle is going to need some attention soon. Or whatever this is. Alright. Now let's fill in the rest of the background. Hey Gabby BB. I like your username. Thanks for watching yesterday's live stream. Oh, don't worry, you're not late. Gabby, so most likely Monday. And I say most likely because, you know, technology and things, but most likely Monday, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the next one. A little bit, just a drop of solvent, odorless mineral spirit. Wow, I haven't used that in forever. Distilled turpentine. Now I'm going to cover this portion. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, thanks, Steve Michigan. Yeah, thanks to everyone that's leaving a like. The bottom of the panel looks like old furniture carving. Really? The panel? Wait, what? Let me see here. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. But I'm going to go over that again. So I went in with thinner paint, so I used the turpentine. I don't recommend doing this for health reasons, but whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. So you can kind of run your fingers on it, and it's already, see, it's kind of wet, but it's settling in to the surface. So what I'm going to do is go over it with thicker paint. See this dark here, it's going to settle in, it's going to fade in after a little bit, but what I want to do is just cover the rest of this so that I can return to the lonely strawberry. Poor thing has been neglected. Don't worry, little strawberry, I'm coming. I'm coming for you. Alright, let's return to the strawberry. Let's start putting in some planes for the little strawberry that could. I'm going to start off with some planes for the green. And I'm going to use paper towel just because I'm a little worried about the red touching the green. So I got to be a little cautious about that. So how about this? Let's introduce a crowd question. Let's introduce a simple one. I'm curious. So if this is your first time in one of my live streams, please leave a comment. All of us are gonna give you a nice shout out. If this is your first time joining us. And of course, if you've been here since the beginning of the live streams, which hasn't been that long ago, also comment down. We'll give you a shout out as well. And also feel free to ask me anything. Hey, Elvia Garcia. In Alla Prima painting, what allows you to apply paint on top of paint? That's a really good question. So there are two ways. If you thin it out, there could be multiple ways, but what I'm using, see, this is really thin and it's fading in. See how this is kind of already faded a little bit? So you can apply your solvent and let it sink in to the surface, assuming your surface is very absorbent, and then paint over it thicker. Or what you can do is paint really thick paint. Usually that helps if your surface is not as absorbent. Paint really thick and then paint thin over top of thick. Bob Ross would always say that, actually. That thin paint tends to stick onto thick paint. And by thin paint, I mean paint that has a little bit of solvent in it. Hey, Art House. Well, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. Art Treehouse, shout out to you. Welcome to your first live stream. And you just started with oil paints too. Definitely a fun thing, oil painting. So feel free to ask me anything, Art House, since you are beginning with oil painting. All right, let's see here. Now I'm going to switch to a different brush entirely, and we're going to mix the ultramarine blue with the Gamboge Flake Extra. Time really does fly during these streams. Now we're going to put in those half tones. Let's see here. AD Michigan, what did you just use to, what did you just do using the paper towel with the strawberry leaf? I used the paper towel to draw subtractive drawing for the leaves, for the strawberry, because you see how I'm putting in this green? Had I gone in with this green right away, it would have mixed in with the red that I had painted in. So I was just clearing a path with the paper towel for the green that you're seeing down here. Hey, Eduardo. Oh, this is your first time on the live stream. Shout out to Eduardo or Zoko. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you are enjoying the live streams, and I hope that you will visit us for future live streams, virtual painting sessions. And to everyone that's stuck at home or stuck somewhere due to this pandemic and everything, I hope that this is helping you out, providing you with some kind of comfort. And I'm saying we because this is a group effort. All of us here together in the live chat, in the live stream. This is a group effort. I'm very appreciative of everyone here, everyone leaving comments, asking questions, leaving a like, super chats, everything. Hey Luis, second live stream. Well, welcome to your second live stream. Hope you are enjoying this. Have I ever used the New Wave Yugo travel parachute box? I'm glad that you really like them. So how do you like the box? Does it move a lot in the wind if you use it a lot for plein air? I was really curious about that. I haven't used it, but what I'm using here, this is actually all set up on a French easel with broken legs. So the French easel is kind of just resting on a table. Now we're putting some planes for the leaves. So again, feel free to ask me anything. I guess this is the first live stream where you actually hear me try to talk Spanish. Kind of butchered it. I learned a term, actually I think I already forgot. Sombra tostada, so cast shadow. No, that wasn't sack. I don't know, I forgot. My memory. My family is from Peru, from Lima. They moved here in the 80s. Of course, I was born in 91. Born in Bethesda, Maryland. Or was that born in Rockville? I think I was born in Rockville, Maryland, actually. Let's see here. Hey, Dark Clown. Been a viewer for months, but this is your first time. I've written just when I heard you speak Spanish. Oh, well, I'm glad that you heard me speak Spanish there. So yeah, I mean, I know some Spanish, but thanks for watching the channel, and I'm hoping that you're liking the streams. All right, Luis. You weigh the tripod down with your bag. That's smart. That's actually really smart. So when you weigh the tripod down with the bag, the wind doesn't blow it? Hey, Arshdeep. How are you? Oh, the box is very solid. Well, yeah. I gotta give that a try. I really do like the brand new Wave, I must say. So feel free to ask me anything. So that should be good for the leaves. Now I should get into the structure of the strawberry. Hey, Archdeep. Oh, I'm glad you like the yellow light on the pot or the kettle. Yeah, it's really fun to sneak in these reflected lights in metallic objects. Like I was saying, it's not so much the color of what you paint here, but rather what you surround it with that creates that kind of metallic look. Hey, Alma. De nada. Trato de hablar español, pero lo que me falta son las palabras. No sé tantas palabras en español. Pero sí puedo entender. Si alguien me habla en español, lo entiendo muy bien. Pero si quieren que yo les responda en español, estoy perdido. Let's start to put in some of the seed, some seed stuff for the poor neglected strawberry. Hey Doreen, the Yugo parachute box had very good reviews. Really? I would like to do more plein air as well too, but unfortunately I can't bring my internet with me out there and stream. But yeah, definitely. I gotta look at the Yugo box now. Thanks for the information. Hey Art House. Why is it in oils that oil painters always paint the subjects first and the background later? Sometimes it's laziness. Other times it's time. Like right now, I had to really focus my timing on this, other than putting in, a highly finished background. And another reason, I in particular will paint an extra layer or two in the skin tones if I'm painting a portrait or some kind of figurative work, and purposefully leave the background alone so that it doesn't have as much buildup of paint. Hey Eduardo. Oh, thanks. My Spanish is not very good. Burnt umber equals sombra tostada. Oh, that's what I was saying. Cast shadow equals sombra proyectada. Okay. Pero si dices solo sombra, se entiende. Sombra, okay. So, sombra and sombra proyectada. How about form shadow, Dark Clown? How would you say form shadow? Hey, Troy. Yeah, art and Spanish lessons all in one. That's right. I'm telling you, these live streams are a ton of fun. Now we're really pushing the volume. for the cast shadow of this neglected strawberry. Really want to push the effective form. Hey Doreen, check out the M box while you're at it. M box? I don't think I've heard of that one. M box and U box. Gotta say, these Alla Prima paintings are probably one of the most kind of liberating painting experiences. What time is it here? Oh, it's midnight over there. It's 7:01 over here. 7:01 p.m. Well, thanks for hanging in there all the way up to midnight. That's another good chat question. Let's see. Well, it's kind of random, but let's type this out. So over here it's 7:01 p.m. What time is it for everyone watching? We've got 69 of us here. I want to see 69 numbers responded here. What time is it for everyone? Just to kind of give us a understanding of the amazing scope of YouTube. And I'm going to start to put in these intricacies here for the seeds. One little brush mark at a time to get the detail for the seeds. And this is a situation where less is more. So only a few little spots for where the seeds are going to go. April, it's 12:02 over there. Is it in the morning or afternoon? Hey, Robert. Alrighty, now the numbers are coming in. Robert is at 7:02 over there. Think PM. Marshall Watkins 6:30. I'm thinking PM. Neilda Garcia. We're at the same time, 7:03 now. April is coming in with midnight. In Sierra and midnight in England. Alrighty, watching all the way from England. The Michigan 7 p.m. same time zone. Awesome. Wow, Art House is 1 a.m. in Amsterdam, Holland. Wow, Art House. I want to give you another shout out here. With the loaded paintbrush. Shout out to you, Art House. 1 a.m. in Amsterdam. Wow. Oh, wow. Gabby BB at 4:03 p.m. Okay. Very similar. Close. Louise at 7:01. Look at that. Look at all the different time zones. Now I'm going to put in some more shapes here for the seeds. Wow, this is truly a very humbling experience for me. We have folks here from all over the world. I wonder if this is how Bob Ross felt. That's so wonderful. It's very humbling. Now I'm going to switch brushes, and I'm going to put in some of the lights. I'm going to have to clean a brush, because I actually ran out of brushes, so I'm going to clean this one here. Hey Alma, aquí son las 7 de la noche con 5 minutos. Hey, Luis, artist. How are you? Hey, Eduardo, Guatemala. It is 5:04 p.m. Pretty close, pretty close. Dark Clown. Form shadow sería solamente forma forma de sombra. Okay, all right. We're learning forma de sombra. Or would it be sombra de forma? I'm confused. But the two words, it makes sense. Hey, Anelia Garcia. Yeah, the medium I'm using. For one thing, with Alla Prima, artists typically use slow dryers, but I like fast dryers pretty much all the time. So I'm using this right here. See, I'm about to actually use it. Venetian medium. And remember I was saying how thin paint tends to stick onto thick paint? See this? So thinning it out with the medium, basically extending the paint with the medium, helps for the paint to stick. But I'm actually just going to go in with thicker paint. All right, thanks for all these time zone answers. Hey, Cynthia. Oh, thank you. Wow, it's 1 a.m. in Spain. Wow, you're watching all the way in Spain. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for watching. Hey, Art House. I'm glad that you're intrigued by these painting videos. Cheryl Lethe Hacker 704, very similar times. Doris Art, what's up? From Las Vegas. Oh, wow. Awesome. Oh, wow, you're in Cancun. Awesome. So now I'm going to put some of the lights in for the, whatchamacallit, for the highlight region of the greenery, the leaves. So I'm going to refer back to this and use titanium white. Hey, Gabby BB. Again, I really like your username. Oh yeah, I mean, this is really fun. I mean, combining the art of painting with technology, that is combining it with video, is really what I enjoy. And now combining it with live stream and being able to chat with people all over the world and in different time zones, mind you, is such a wonderful experience. I mean, never in a million years did I think when I started this YouTube channel that this would be a possibility. Let's see here. Hey, Doreen. Oh, I'm glad that you like the Spanish portion of this video. Now, my Spanish is really rusty, too. Oh, wow. Yeah, I would like to visit Spain, too, as well. Actually, I would like to travel a lot, especially to do, like, meet and greets or visit museums. When the world opens up again, of course. Hey, Cynthia, I'm glad that you're enjoying the stream. I'm glad you're enjoying it too, D Michigan. So now what I'm going to do is push the depth even more. So I'm going to go, now that the darks have settled in, I'm going to go in with thicker paint and start to really push the dark. So I'm going to start over here. So let's go with the Ivory Black. Alizarin Crimson Lake Extra. And now let's start to push some of these darks. See how it helps when it kind of fades. Now how I can reach a whole nother level of the darks. Hey Shara, the Hager. Did I attend art school? When did I start the YouTube channel? I went to Studio Incominati for a year. Studio Incominati in Philadelphia, PA, and I also trained with an artist by the name Paulden Hamilton. I will go ahead and type his name for you. I'm using one hand, so I'm not really going to do capital. If anyone wants to check out Paulden Hamilton, he is my painting teacher, painting mentor. That pretty much trained me when I was kind of like just out of high school. And I met him actually in a painting class. He was taking a class with the Impressionist painter that I was studying with. Let's see. And the other question was, when did I start YouTube? I kind of forgot. I think I started my YouTube channel back in 2017. My first videos were just time lapses. I only really started doing voiceovers for the videos when I didn't have any, when I ran out of music for the time lapses. So that kind of just happened, and I realized that I liked doing that, and then it was helping people. So then that's when the channel started to grow a little more. And I'm thankful for every one of you, every one of my viewers. Hey Doreen, you may have been confusing one of the other boxes. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, the French easel has been pretty good. This is the one I have. It's just the leg broke, but not the wooden part of the leg, just the screw. So it is usable, though it's kind of heavy. I just have to put a clamp where the screw would be for the leg. Now we're really going to push some of these darks. See that? How much further we can push the range now. But you don't want to use the darkest dark everywhere. Just in select areas. And I'm kind of missing a cast shadow here. Sombra Projectile. I'm missing one here. And a penumbra. I wonder how you would say penumbra in Spanish. I have no clue. So let's put in the penumbra. A little bit softer, of course. Penumbra is the area here in the cast shadow that is softer as it moves further away. There's a more scientific definition of it, but I don't really know it off the top of my head. Hey Nelvia, what size canvas or panel? This is an 11 by 14 panel that I actually painted over an old painting, and I went over it with just raw umber and titanium white. So just 11 by 14 inch. I don't know what that would be in centimeters. I gotta memorize those numbers. Hey Marshall, the one medium you'd love to visit is the Louvre. Yeah, I would like to visit the Louvre as well. And thanks to everyone that's leaving a like. Look at that. We are at 83 likes. Thank you, everyone that's liking the video. Now let's put in more contrast for the accent. Accent underneath of here. And the accent should really plant it down. You know, make it feel solid. Like it's resting on the surface. Let's see here. Hey, Gabby, BB. Oh, wow, you're Brazilian. So you're learning a lot of the Spanish vocabulary. Awesome. Yeah, it's nice to be able to, learn the terminology that you're used to, but learn what it sounds like in other languages. Thanks for the emoji, Marshall. See, isn't this making the stream so lively? I mean, like we have our painting demonstration and stuff, but also we have like emojis showing up in this nice stream. I just like the way the layout is. The aesthetic of it is really nice. Hey, Gabriel. Do I do commissions based on size? Yeah. Usually when I have a commission. I haven't had one in a while, but when I do have a commission, yep, size is an important thing. And I usually prefer to meet with the client that I'm going to do the commission with in person. So that's kind of why I haven't had a lot of commissions, because I prefer to do them, at least take the pictures from life. Hey, Gabriel. Thank you. Hey, Dark Clown. Penumbra equals penumbra. Okay. But of course, different pronunciation, I'm sure. Wow. Yeah, this is very informative for me, too. Because it's not like you can just ask the internet to translate it, because it's different. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of shaking this a little bit. Hey, Gabriel. Oh, where would you have to fly? I live in Beltsville, Maryland. I'm like 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes away from DC. All right, now I'm going to sit back and see what I'm missing. Well, now what I'm going to do is just cover this part that needs more of a darker tone. So again, feel free to ask anything. Let's see here. Gabby, in Portuguese, penumbra. Portuguese, it's penumbra, so it's the same word. Oh, wow. Yeah, the languages are pretty similar. Oh, dark clown, it's pronounced the same? Penumbra? Really? Huh. Well, I didn't know. Wow. Thank you. Learning a lot here. So let's cover the rest of the dark, starting back here. See how this is faded? So now I'm going in with thicker paint and a little more of the Venetian medium. And we're going to make this dark look official. Now, not the darkest dark possible, because I am throwing in a little bit of French umber. So it's going to be nice and solid. And at the same time, I'm very carefully looking at the edge quality as I do this. Let's see here. Hey Jamie, yeah, I have done landscape painting in the past. You know what? I've had suggestions for that a lot. We'll definitely do a landscape with one of our virtual painting sessions. I like landscape as well. I like that you can just move trees and things. I like more of an impressionistic look to them. But yeah, we can do some landscape. Let's see here, what did I miss? Hey Steven, I believe you can have a virtual experience of the Louvre via their website. Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know why I haven't looked into that. Hey Luis, have I ever been to Reston, Virginia? Yeah, I think I was there not too long ago. My fiance lives in Chantilly, Virginia, so yeah, we kind of travel a lot. Yeah, I've been in the Reston area. Now we're really making this dark official. The power of Alla Prima. Let's see, Dark Clown. La R es como decir brazo penumbra. Penumbra. Pero es prácticamente lo mismo. Oh, cool. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm still probably butchering that. Hey Marshall, since you did a master study of the Mona Lisa, you would like to see the actual Mona Lisa. Yeah, me too. Of the paintings that I've done the studies of, I would like to see them in person. Hey Gabriel, I went to the Louvre last year. Oh, jealous, envious. Oh yeah, I wish I could go. Hey Robert Wainwright, what's up? Am I painting from the photo or setup? It's from a picture. It's on my iPad. Just because the lighting wouldn't be, it wouldn't be as easy to control. And when you paint from, of course, when you paint from life, everything is more kind of naturalistic. But for this instance, I'm just using the picture. And the picture's on the iPad. As you notice, I really like dark backgrounds. I like chiaroscuro. Of course, we're going to leave some of the brushy marks here. Hey Jamie, they say plein air painting is the toughest form of painting to master. Definitely, I think that plein air painting is very difficult, but it's difficult in different aspects than other things. Like portrait painting is difficult because of drawing, hands down. It's the most difficult. Figurative is the most difficult in terms of drawing. When it comes to plein air and landscape, I believe what makes it difficult is composition for the most part. Composition and color. Composition, color, and atmospheric perspective are what makes landscape so difficult. In plein air, it's really difficult because you're kind of at the mercy of the sunlight, when you're painting outdoors. So I believe that statement. It's a very difficult because of the time constraints. Let's see here. Mona Lisa is to the left of you. Awesome. I gotta frame the recent one, the Rembrandt, and hang it somewhere. Hey, all equal forgot. It's 724 over there. Pretty similar. It's 725 over here. Hey, Jamie. I know you have used flake white before, but have you ever used Kremnitz white? Blue Ridge oil paint makes it. I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to purchase Cremnitz White. Oh, what's up, little buddy? Oh, there's a spider here. Hey, little baby. So anyone that knows me, I am in person. I'm definitely an animal person. In particular, I really love spiders. But don't worry, I put the spider on the side. He's safe. So I want to leave some of the brushy marks here. And I just kind of like that when it comes to still life and any painting in particular, where you see a change in value and a change in texture in the background that adds to the viewer's experience when they're looking at your painting. Let's see here, what did I miss? Hey, Cynthia. I don't think I fully answered the Cremnitz White. Yeah, I would like to use Cremnitz White in particular. I'm probably going to purchase the Old Holland. I like the fact that it has the walnut oil. Cremnitz White has walnut oil, so it will tend to yellow less. That's another reason why I want to get Cremnitz White as well. So let's see, what other questions have I missed as I'm filling in the background? All right. So Cynthia, penumbra, partial shadow outside of the complete shadow of an ellipse. Yep, I believe that. That's the definition. Hey, Steven. No, I won't shout at you, don't worry. Oh, wow, you have seen them close up. Wow. Huh. That is awesome. Hey, Luis. There's a cigar lounge. You did 5 murals in. Oh, wow, in Reston. The business is called Cigar Town in Reston. Yeah, Cigar Town. I gotta write that down. I would like to check out the mural that you painted. Awesome. Now I'm gonna cover the dark down here, and I think I'm gonna make this dark flat while leaving this, of course, more, I guess, more brushy. And then I'll return back to the main objects and finish them up. Let's see here. Hey, Annabelle. Oh, wow. Saludos from Mexico. Saludos aquí in Beltsville, Maryland. Thank you for your kind words. Thanks for joining our live stream. Let's see here. Marshall, have I ever been bitten by a radioactive spider? One time. One time on a Tuesday, I was bitten by a radioactive spider. Definitely. In terms of bites, my left hand has a slight scar from a tarantula bite. I do have pet tarantulas in case anyone's wondering, but don't worry, they're not going to show up. But it was my fault. It was crawling up my hand, and sometimes they use their teeth to clamp on, so I didn't get any venom or anything. But that's always a neat, like, little crowd thing to show. I tell you what, though, the most painful bite I've ever had was from a dog. My mother's dachshund Patches. My goodness, the worst bite ever. I'd rather be bitten by like 10 tarantulas than a dachshund or a chihuahua or anything. Let's see here. What did I miss? Hey Zelda, Amazon, what's up? Hey Gabby, BB, speaking of animals, I don't recall seeing you painting animals. Maybe I've watched you painting a dog. Yeah, I have painted pet portraits, but Gabby, BB, we can do that. Definitely animal paintings. What about Halloween? That would be fun, like Halloween, then I can paint a tarantula. because it would be appropriate, right? Um, but yeah, we can do that. We can do that. If that's something you'd be interested in watching, we can do that. Cynthia, do you wipe your brushes off with a cloth and or use turpentine while you're painting? Rarely. I clean the brushes if I run out of brushes. But usually I'll designate a brush for certain things. Like I'll have a brush designated for, the warm colors. So like for instance, I'm about to switch to a different color. This is an instance where I would clean the brush because this is the size brush that I would need, but it has kind of a gray on it. It was used for this. So I'm going to clean it off and with the turpentine and the paper towel, reuse it to paint in this edge. But typically I just have a bunch of brushes that I go back and forth between either light and dark or different hues. So now I'm going to put in a very soft transition there. Hey Cynthia. Oh, the brushes seem clean, but trust me, they're a mess. And I'm gonna make this a very soft edge. And a little tip, if you want to paint really soft edges in Alla Prima, paint thick. Thick paint helps with soft edges in Alla Prima. I want this edge to be pretty lost. So let's see here. Hey Steven, you got bitten by a donkey while it's feeding him a carrot. Oh man, that's not good. That's gotta hurt. Hey Doreen, I love what I'm able to see and then put on canvases. Photographs are a good backup, but not the same. Nothing can replace holding onto your hat and easel while you try painting. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Luis Vasquez. Oh, you also had a tarantula? No kidding. You had a tarantula for years, and loved when it molted. Oh yeah, yeah. Mine always molt. Oh wow, you had one large enough to feed a pinky mice. Luis Velasquez. Which species and genus did you have? I'm curious. Was it a rose hair or curly hair? Of course, those are common names. But yeah, Luis, I'm interested. I want to know which type you had or have. Hey, Gabby BB. Yeah. Yeah, we can totally do a tarantula for Halloween. But I would probably lose about like half of my followers for that. So Gabriel, do you have different levels of detail when you give yourself detail you give yourself on your paintings? For instance, whenever I do alla prima like this, it's a lot of fun, but at the same time, I typically won't put as much details or information as classical. But then the trade-off is that even though classical is more realistic, and it's the way that I teach. So if anyone's interested in classical, please again check out the online classes. Usually if I'm going to do a painting like this, I plan this out. So I knew right away what composition I wanted. I knew right away how much information I'd be able to handle in this amount of time. So yes, I do kind of plan out how much detail or information I put in. For instance, I wouldn't try to paint like a grandfather clock or something like that in in one sitting like this. Or if we're talking about like subject matter, like a cheetah, like the patterns on a cheetah, I wouldn't be able to paint that in one sitting as well. Let's see, Mr. Micro 555. Why use turpentine if it's hazardous when you can use a damp cloth? Well, turpentine, I use it because it thins out the paint, but it doesn't kind of eat it like odorless mineral spirits kind of does. But at the same time, I also prefer to use spike lavender, but it's rather expensive. So spike lavender and turpentine are kind of my go-tos, but spike lavender again is a little more expensive. But if I had the means to do so, I would just strictly use spike lavender. But I understand the hazards, but I mean, it's just it's a trade-off, really. Let's see here. What did I miss? Art House. The kind of brushes. This is a Simply Simmons filbert. I use pretty inexpensive brushes. I mainly use either watercolor brushes or acrylic brushes. Interestingly enough. I only use bristle brushes when I have to cake on like a lot of paint. But rarely do I do that. Hey, Dark Clown. Oh, you had an Emperor Scorpion. Awesome. I have a Asian Forest Scorpion. To everyone that's not into inverts that's watching probably thinks I'm crazy, but the nice thing about these, I guess you can call them quote unquote bugs as pets, is they're super low maintenance. And you can build beautiful terrariums for them. One thing I really enjoy doing is building terrariums for pets. I'll be going to the Repticon in Baltimore next week. So if anyone is in the Baltimore area, I will be in the Repticon on Sunday. Hey, it's Paint Not Right. What's up? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the way the painting is looking. Hey, Mr. Micro 555. I'm glad that watching the painting broadcast, I'm going to call it, is relaxing. Oh, thank you. Now, I'm going to put some texture into the wood area here. So I'm going to thin out the paint once again, and I'm going to experiment in a corner. So I'm going to vary the degrees of the brush strokes to try to emulate the wood. Let's see here. Hey, Cynthia. Buenas noches. Good night. Hey, Gabriel. This group on Discord? No, this isn't on Discord. It's just the chat is on YouTube. So I'm going to vary the direction of the brush strokes to put more texture. And we're actually kind of finishing this one up because I kind of like the loose quality to the metal and to the strawberry. I don't want to polish the still life elements anymore. So these are probably going to be the last adjustments really to the background and to the painting. Oh, thanks. It's paint not right. Thanks for your comment. Isn't this awesome to see all these emojis? I really like this emoji. These emojis are awesome. Let's see here. Hey, Art House. It's interesting. I started with a course that went us matter brushes. Interesting. Yeah, Simply Simmons this is what I'm using. Honestly, I'm not that picky when it comes to brushes. I say this a lot. I'm more picky when it comes to the painting support, the painting surface, and the oil paint. But when it comes to paint, I mean, you can just finger paint and create really, really nice results. If you use the fundamentals. For me, it's really about the paints and the surface that you're painting on. Just kind of experimenting with this texture. So, I'm thinking I kind of like the way this looks. I'm going to just soften this edge here. I had a question last time about when do I know if a painting's done, and I said sometimes you just kind of get a feel for it, especially with Alla Prima. And I think that's happening here. I think I like what's going on. Rarely does that happen, but I do. Oh, martyr brushes. So what I'm going to do is get the synthetic fan brush and just soften away. Then I'm going to decide where to sign. I think I already know where I'm going to sign. Just softening a little bit. So now we are approaching the finish. So please feel free to ask me any questions. Hey, April, thank you. Hey, Luis. Oh, it was a Chilean rose hair. Oh no, they were trying to kill him. Oh, I have one too, actually. I have a Chilean rose hair too. Named Rosie. She's so docile, so chill. Maybe for Halloween I can bring her out. Halloween special. Creepy crawler special. Hey, Mr. Micro 555. Oh, thank you so much for your comment. I'm glad you like. Look at that. We're at 99 likes. Somebody please send us to 100 likes. If you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream and send us to 100 likes. If you don't mind. Or if you don't like the stream, that's okay. Hey, Steven, did I get my aluminum panels yet? Oh, you're very, very good at... Your memory is very good. Yes, I do have the aluminum panels, and I am preparing them. As you know, it takes a while for me to prepare surfaces, so once I have an aluminum panel ready, I will start to use it. Oh, thank you, Art House. Oh, thank you, Doreen. Oh, we made it to 100 likes. Thanks, Luis. All right, shout out Luis. I wonder if you left the 100th like, but yay, we have made it to 100 likes. Look at that. That is awesome. All right, so let me go ahead and sign. Please feel free to ask me any questions that you have while I get ready to sign. And to everyone on Patreon that sent me a message, as soon as the stream ends, I'm going to go jump right to the messenger. Actually, you know what? I'm going to sign with a darker color this time. So I always like to mix the color that I'm going to sign with. Thanks, Andy. Hey, Luis. Oh, you liked it a while. Oh, well, I mean, thank you for liking the stream as well. Thanks to everyone that's leaving a like. All right, let's sign. I think I'm going to sign over here again, onto the wood. Yupari. Yep, that's how I spell my name. Oh, thanks, Nildia. Yep, Steven, I'm looking forward to the aluminum as well. Mr. Micro 555. Do I ever do digital? I use Drawing Desk, a free app on the iPad, to do the virtual classrooms for my online students. That's what I use to. They send me images each week, and I use it to draw onto the images and give them advice. So I do use it, but mainly I use it for instructional purposes. But no, I haven't done a completed digital work of art yet. So now we have added a signature. Thanks, Luis. Yep. Thanks, everyone. So, yeah, most likely, and I want to emphasize, most likely, we'll be here. We'll be streaming again Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to ask me anything. I just found that this is kind of wonky, so I may fix some little things before I sign out. Hey, Doreen. Oh, I really enjoy this experience. Trust me, I won't forget anyone here. All of you here are what makes this experience so wonderful. Everyone commenting, everyone that's just sitting there and watching the stream and not commenting. It's fine. I'm very thankful that everyone is here. I'm thankful for everyone that's here watching. So I just had to fix the wonkiness of that. Thanks, Alejandro. Oh, huh, Mr. Micro 555. Yeah, I could. You want me to do that? Okay. We'll make it look like it's scratched into the wood. The light would fall on the bottom plane. I mean, if it'll help sell the painting, sure, we'll make it look like it. Good suggestion. How's that for a 3D signature? Huh? I almost don't want to make the 2020 look realistic because 2020, but let's just do it. This is kind of our encore. Talk about realism. There we go. Now the signature looks like it was engraved on it. Kind of. Hopefully it does. Thanks for the idea, Mr. Micro 555. Hopefully that'll help sell the painting at some point. I do want to make art prints of these, by the way, before I sell originals. Hey, David Dowden. Yep, thank you for tuning in. Again, everyone, most likely, keyword most likely, we'll be back here on Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, April. Oh, Art House. Yeah, awesome. So I'm going to write one more little comment here. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. Before I go, however, I want to dedicate this entire stream. To my mother. Today is actually my mother's birthday. September 19th is her birthday. And actually, after the stream ends, we're going to go to a restaurant. But I wanted to dedicate this entire stream to my mother, Nancy, who has always been the best supporter of me pretty much most of my life. So in dedication to my mother and in dedication to all the mothers out here, all the mothers and fathers, and all the art lovers and pet lovers out there. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Gabby BB. Yep, good night, Doreen. And that concludes today's live stream. Oh, thank you, Maggie. I'll tell my mom that you said happy birthday. Alrighty. Thanks, everyone, for attending the stream. Oh, and thanks for everyone that's sending the happy birthdays. You know what? I'll probably wait for the happy birthdays before I sign out. Yep, G Michigan, I'll tell my mom you said happy birthday. Yep, Luis, I'll tell her you're sending her happy birthday. Dondo, yep, I'll tell her you're saying happy birthday. And Doreen, yep, my mom will really appreciate it. Yep, Stephen, yep, I'll let her know. Yep, Mr. Micro 555, yep. I'll let my mom know. Thanks to everyone for all the birthday wishes and all of the comments and all of the likes. Thanks, one page of self-care a day. Thank you. Alrighty then, we'll see you all on the next one. Yep, Monday. Most likely, I emphasize most likely, Monday, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I wish you all the very best in all of your artwork. Thank you so much for tuning in to this live virtual painting session. I wish you the best, and I'll see you on the next one.